We're doing it. I'm back. All right. So, if you haven't seen the title, it's been a while. It's been a long while. The last live that I did here in the Joyflu group, I had to scroll down to find it, was the 24th of December 2020. So we're just shy of 2 years since I did that live. So I thought I would start with why so quiet, Andrea? Where have you been? What's been going on? So in the last 2 years, a lot has happened for me personally, and also collectively, and both have had big impacts, and form the predominant reasons slash excuses for being quiet here. As you can tell, if you've been in the group, I've continued posting, but just haven't actually jumped on and done any lives here. So first reason, early 2021. By that stage, we had already decided that we were going to move into state, but with COVID and things, no, rewind. We decided we we're going to move pre-COVID. At the end of 2019. So that decision was made. I picked up an extra job. So I was working part-time at the school in administration, and I picked up another job, and that was doing training and workshops with young people with disabilities and preparing them and arming them with skills to get into the workforce. So that was 2020. Man, I'm mixing up my COVID years. It happens. And so, yeah, at the beginning of 2021, I commenced applying for jobs interstate, even while we were in lockdown, because we had decided it was going to happen. I didn't have much luck early on in the first half of 2021, but by May, and by that stage we'd already put our house in Melbourne on the market. By that stage, I had 2 job offers, so that was awesome. We were between lockdowns, I think 3 and 4 at that stage, and I wrapped up at the school and got myself up here to Coffs Coast, where we're now residing. It's now been for me almost 18 months that I've been here. So moving into state in the midst of COVID and in between lockdowns and during lockdowns was challenging, a little bit exciting, and fun, and hey, it all worked out. So yeah, in that time where we sold a house, moved into state, moved into a rental, purchased a house, renovated a house, moved into the house. We've had almost 15 lots of separate groups and individuals come and stay in our new place, it's just been awesome. Funnily enough, people are back out and travelling again. And that's only been since February this year. So that's been a lot. The job that I did accept and commenced in July 2021 last year was a full-time role. So it takes up a lot more time and energy working full-time than part-time. But awesome awesome position. So youth workshop facilitator for an employment services company under the government funded transition to work program. And it was right up my alley. It was combining so many of my skills and loves. I had a fantastic manager who gave me so much autonomy, basically let me work my magic, which, that's what I love doing. Consequently, that government contract got removed off my employer. We got notification of that literally the day after we moved into our house here. So much stuff. So I was to be made redundant at the end of June this year, and my employer offered me a part-time role, 3 days a week, as an accredited trainer. So none of the fun stuff. It's I've had my accreditation, my TAE, for 12 years and haven't needed it per se, because I've always been unaccredited, and now I'm finally getting my earning my stripes as an accredited trainer. So that's different, but works very well for me. So yeah. So on top of that, we had 2 grandparents pass in the last 12 months. What else? Oh yeah, floods. Not so much impacted directly. Did get a little bit over 3 months of rain straight. We do have some drainage issues here in our new place, so we've been managing that. That's going to require some large, expensive excavation work to happen at some point. So we'll jump that when we get to it. So yeah, one of the main reasons / excuses for not being present here with you guys. So the other one, social media sucks. I have detoxed myself off the social media apps on my phone. They're no longer there. Last couple of years I've gone through having them on, taking them off, having them on, taking them off at different periods. Anyway, since I think I did put Facebook back on briefly when I was back in Melbourne in August, just for a couple of days, and now it's gone. And at this stage, I don't see those apps coming back. I still use social media. It's just I find when it's on the computer, I'm doing it more deliberately, more intentionally, and a lot less mindless scrolling. The other thing I've noticed is just like life's changed very rapidly. Living in a totally new regional area, starting from scratch. At the beginning, didn't know anyone here. We're now almost 18 months in, so that's changing quite rapidly now. There's quite a few people that I'm engaging with socially now, so that's fun. But it was of no stress or consequence to me. I've moved numerous times. I've had to start from scratch with not knowing anyone quite a few times over my childhood and as an adult. So doing it wasn't a big deal, but just feeling really happy, really settled, loving the quieter lifestyle, moving out of city life, suburban city life, to regional, definitely connecting more with nature. Not too far from the beach now, and I'm there every day, either walking the dog or going for a swim or whatnot. So my contentment, my personal satisfaction of life is radically shifted, and there's this weird thing that I have noticed, that my desire to share about my life has decreased rapidly. and that's been good, getting that out of my system. What I did notice is that for a while there, everything I was doing, going out for drinks, a meal, a concert, down at the beach, pretty sunset, whatever, was always this part of my brain going, oh, I could post this. What could I write about this? And so it's nice to have detoxed and got that extra thinking out of my head and just be present to where I am and what's going on, not thinking about how I can frame it and share it. So it's really coming down to asking myself, well, what is the purpose of sharing things? And look, absolutely, there's a whole 100 justifiable reasons why I could be sharing more, but just none strong enough for me to actually then go and do anything about it. That may change. We'll see. Definitely see how we go with being more visible, back doing lives again. Probably thirdly, and probably had the biggest impact into why I've been quiet in this space for the duration. I just didn't like what I was seeing online. I just was seeing so much separation and people's inability to actually just be okay with people making choices that were different to what aligned for themselves, and that's been quite disturbing, quite unnerving for myself. I'm not someone that wants to stick my neck out to get it chopped off. And look, that hasn't gone away. I appreciate that it's perhaps quietened a little bit for the minute. But yeah, like, if I'm to say things like men can't have babies, or what my definition of a woman is, or that maybe letting people choose what they do or don't do with their bodies is okay. If I was to say those sort of things in the current climate, a lot happens. And I am generally someone that really works to keep the peace. In the past, unfortunately, at the cost of myself, that has changed. I'm still not someone that wants to put themselves in the firing line per se. However, what Joyflu represents, the part of me that who cares about humanity and can see a future where we can come together and be okay with these differing opinions. That's real for me. That exists and it's important. So Joyflu is one of my vehicles. I use many vehicles for me to feel that I'm playing, doing my part in creating that vision. So it was never not gonna. Joyfully was never gonna go away. It's just I went quiet and took time to sort of figure out where I fit in that landscape. Getting back to doing this particular live has taken a bit. I've been using my private group, the Waking Women's Collective, to that's a private group, much smaller container. So I've been posting that quite regularly, building up before jumping here. And I've gone as far as to even elect and get myself an accountability coach to ensure that I continue with this. So this is the beginning of me sticking my head back up, saying hello. I'm all things Joyflu. Yeah, so it's not that anything stopped in the last 2 years. In fact, quite the opposite. I did a lot of lives in 2019. They're all still there. I have filed quite a few of them under the guides section. So you'll notice there's things about gratitude, goal setting, stepping outside your comfort zone, emotional processing, feeling feelings, what else? Self-love, taking full responsibility and accountable for what's going on in our lives. They're all there, and basically I've been practicing those skills for a long time. It was a long time prior to even sharing them back in 2019. What the last few years has given me is the ability to really deepen my ability using those skills. Nothing's changed. I'm very clear with anything that I teach, are things that I do myself, and that's the brilliance of the last 2 years is I heavily indulged in those tools. I have deepened my connection with myself epically. I've been able to navigate things that have really upset me, that have been stressful, things that have been outside my control, stepping outside my comfort zone, all of that, it's all still happening, and all with a massive sense of gratitude and appreciation for everything that has happened. So I'm more connected to myself. My heart is so much more open. My ability to hold intensity in myself and for others has strengthened 100-fold. So, you know, this is what the ongoing effects of these tools does. And yeah, I effectively practice what I teach 100% of the time. Yeah, not always 100% perfectly. Okay, I am human. Some days I don't feel as grateful as others. But I hold that intention of being able to navigate difficult, challenging times, situations and feelings. And in fairness, I've become quite exceptional at it. Look at that, me tooting my own horn. And what has sort of really landed as a result of that is the potency of these skills. The ability to navigate the ups and downs, to be okay equally in the downs as I am the ups. And the life that I am now living is the evidence that I use that supports that these tools work. Okay, it's pretty amazing. It's at times unfathomable to me. Okay, there's magic, there's flow. I was chatting with a friend yesterday and I was saying how I'd never really subscribed to the idea of manifesting. You know, you see manifestation coaches and I'm just like, what? Bullshit. And what I have sort of unlocked for myself is that ability. And it's just that mastery of these skills. of being able to navigate the shit stuff when it comes up, then unblocks, you know, the dense energy moves, and that allows then what I'm desiring, what I want to come in and show up. So effectively that's what manifesting is. Who knew? Been doing it all along. Yeah, so I'm being constantly given evidence that this work is valuable, it's useful. I know it for myself, and I see it for others as well. So look, it doesn't mean that, you know, a lot of people sell these things as though, like, you'll never have a crappy moment ever again, and that's just so not the case. But our ability to navigate it is what happens. And so in a large way, I like being triggered, I like being upset now, because that reveals something that I can now work with. It's like, ooh, you've just hit a sore spot. Great. And knowing that through sitting with it, being with it, loving it, acknowledging it, on the other side of that, awesome things happen. So yeah, it's not that bad shit doesn't happen. It's always going to be happening. That's life. No one's signed up here to have like just pleasantness all of the time, and quite frankly, that would get pretty boring. I wouldn't want that. Legitimately, I wouldn't want that. So yeah, 10 years of putting myself in these spaces of personal, professional development, and putting it all into action. Okay, it's very easy to go to workshops, learn the stuff, and then forget it. Something crap happens, and we go into meltdown and forget all the things. So yeah, it's all the negative stuff is actually, or the unpleasantness is actually what catapults us into the awesomeness, the magic, the brilliance, the fun stuff, right? So I'm thankful, very, very thankful for that. Have I figured out all my kinks? Have I gone into the depths and come out all squeaky clean and shiny and have nothing left to work on? No, I'm human. We've all got our kinks, and you know, when you get to almost 10 years in, the kinks are harder to find, or when they come up, you transition through them a lot quicker, which is great. But yeah, there's always things. I was at an event last night, and it was called Authentic Relating, and it was a process that we were doing, and I got to lean into fear and unpleasant tension and resistance in my body when I went to offer up questions for the person that we were doing this process with, because who knew? I don't like dropping people into them feeling shit, but that was actually what part of the intention is, because when we drop others into that, then they have the ability to navigate themselves out, and that's the goal. So yeah, I was like, oh, after all this time, after me posing all these questions, finding that in myself. So yeah, the kinks are there, and they reveal themselves when we're ready and open to, well, actually, yeah, they reveal themselves all the time. It's just whether or not we're willing to acknowledge what's there and actually work with it. Um, hmm. So that's kind of it. I just look. To be honest, I had a lot of nerves go on before. Was really funny. I was like, I always do some notes, or I don't always. Just depends. But I yeah, I could feel the nerves and the tension building. I'm like, come on, it's been 2 years. It's time. We're gonna go live today. And I messaged my accountability coach this morning. Said, all right, today's the day. So the goal is to just start jumping on weekly with no. There'll always be something that I've mentally got ready to talk about, but I don't script these. Um, yeah, and as I said, there's a deeper level of me that I can now reveal. The 2 years ago just wasn't there. Well, the depth was there, but certainly not up for sharing. And yet here I am, and it's good because it's this next chapter of revealing what these skills can do. Okay, I'm not here selling anything. All the information is there in the guides. I will just be highlighting, reflecting, revealing. What I've been doing in the Waking Women's Collective has been pretty awesome. I've actually been doing my own processes in lines. It's been extraordinarily useful and powerful. A little nerve-wracking for myself. Like this is revealing you quite intimate parts of myself. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not. All this is me sharing myself, the vision that I hold for communities, for the world, who, if enough people embrace these tools, then beautiful things can happen for you as an individual, but also the people around you. Everyone gets influenced when we level up in these ways. So yeah. So Joyflu itself is still the same. You know, it's about finding that joy for ourselves, regardless of what's going on. Yeah. Being able to navigate what life throws at us, to be able to prosper and flourish and live the lives that's possible. So yeah, I'll be speaking to all of that. This place, and it's in the cover photo. You know, it's about sharing. It's about connecting. It's about that joy. Ultimately, and you know, this is my little creation. I'm the face of it. Whatever that means. But yeah, my role. Yeah, I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. I'm a trainer. I'm a facilitator. In the space of connecting with your own joy, connecting to the depths of ourselves, and then speaking to the benefits and the amazingness that then occurs as a result of doing that. Yeah. So what I'm here to do is to provide support, inspiration to help people find their confidence in working in the depths of themselves. Someone has posted a comment. Unfortunately, oh, there we are, Sonia. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I can see comments. I couldn't see them before. Thank you, Sonia. It's lovely to have your comment and your share. Thank you. Beautiful. All right, I'm done it. I'm back. It's now been less than 1 day since my last live. So look, if you've stayed on for the last half an hour, thank you. You're amazing. I guess feel free to message, comment how your last 2 years have been. If anything here has resonated, if anything here has just pissed you off and now you're like, I'm out of here, Joyflu sucks. Fine, what else? You do you. And yeah, thanks for listening.